Hello and welcome to Over the Top with NatarshaGarcia. I am your guide to the 5 steps to living your dream. This next step is step number 4, and it is so important in this 5-step series. It's called Don't Give Up. It is so important that you do not give up on your dream, that you do not give up on yourself, that you do not give up on life, and that you do not give up on the people that you are designed to reach. This step, I believe, is one of the most important steps to success. Because when you think about people that are successful, people that have made it, people that make it to the top or over the top, have all been faced with that day or days that they wanted to give up. I am sure that today, even while some of you are watching, you're at that place in your life where you're saying, you know what? I don't know that I can go any further. I am ready to throw in the towel. Let me tell you something. One thing that I've learned, and my mom says this to me all the time, is that just at the place when you're ready to give up, something big is around the corner. Sometimes if you can just get up another day, if you can just go to sleep and wake up, your life can change. God shared with me in a dream one night that nothing is as it seems. Nothing is as it seems. I could change your life overnight. My job is to go to sleep and rest. His job is to bring all of those things to pass that he promised me. That is not my job. So if I go to sleep and I wake up the next day, I can have a new day, a new start to live my dream. Giving up can be one of the easiest things to do because you just literally say, I can't do it anymore. In this 16-year journey with me doing AGI, I want to say the first 7 or 8 years, I had to say at least 3 or 4 times a year, I quit. I'm not doing it anymore. I don't want to do it anymore. Maybe someone discouraged me. Maybe I had a big issue with a client that just took me out, took me down, or something that I was really expecting to happen. You know, one of my clients getting a record deal or getting on this show or whatever didn't happen. And I literally found myself in the pit. But I always say in the pit is where greatness is made. Because if you can get out of that pit, boy, man, you come out with something that people can't take from you. And that's experience, that's perseverance, that's a confidence that kind of stands up on the inside of you. Like when you're at that place of quit and you're at that place of give up, you literally can feel yourself when you stand up in that thing and say, man, I'm not going to let you take me out. I'm not going to let the enemy take me out. I'm not going to let me take me out. Because again, sometimes the enemy is inner me. It's my words. It's what I think about myself. And all I need is someone to validate or not for me to say, yeah, you know what, they're right, I'm not gonna make it. So I wanna share with you a few stories of people who didn't give up, people who were at the verge of giving up and decided that, you know what, if I don't bet on anything else in this life, I'm gonna bet on myself. And I'm the first story that I'll share with you. There has been, like I said, several times that I've wanted to give up. The enemy kind of knows our weaknesses. And he knows the things, the jabs, to jab at you to make you quit. But why does he want us to quit so bad? Why? What is on the other side? What could possibly be on the other side? Well, I've discovered that on the other side is the life that you've want, the life that you're praying for, the life that you will live where others will be drawn to your light and others will want to do great things because they've seen you do great things. So I have so many quit stories. I'm trying to find the one that I think will really resonate with you. And I would say possibly after having maybe 10 years into AGI, I remember having this conversation with my son, who is 27 years old now, but he's seen me for the last 16 years. So he was 11 years old when I started my business. He's seen me go through so many things chasing after my dream. And he's seen me do it God's way. Because there's two ways, there's two systems that you can operate in. Understand that there's two systems. There's God's system, and then there's the world system. If you decide to operate in the world system, we are taught, step on whoever you have to step on to get where you need to go. Do whatever you have to do to get where you need to go. Some people believe that you can sleep your way to the top. Some people believe that you can stab enough people in the back to get to the top. Some people believe that you can brown nose your way to the top. Some people believe they can pay their way to the top. But if you do it God's system, let me help you understand that we understand that to go low is going high. So, we have to serve our way to where we want to go. We have to allow people to maybe do us wrong and not lash back out because we're trusting God. And so I remember 10 years into this dream, I was sitting at home on my couch, and it was one of those times that we really felt like, the walls were caving in. And I remember being very tearful in my living room, and my son was there, and he said, "Mom, when are we going to win?" And this thing really, really struck me in a way that it made me really really look at myself and say, am I doing the right thing? Because prior to owning AGI, I was an insurance agent and an insurance adjuster. And so my son got to see me go to work every day, work a 9 to 5, get a check, take care of the bills. When I decided to start my own business with my husband and we became entrepreneurs, then he saw a different lifestyle, which was great, but then there was a downside to it as well, because now all he knows is the dream. All he knows is entrepreneurship. He doesn't really understand 9 to 5. So we're sitting at home and he says, when are we going to win? I'm tired of seeing you get beat down. I'm tired of seeing you hoping for something that it seems like it's not going to happen. Almost like you're chasing a carrot and the carrot keeps moving. It keeps changing directions. It's like, come on, I know that I don't serve a God that's going to have me running after a carrot and never let me catch it. And so having this conversation with my son, I guess 6 years ago, he must have been about 21. And I wanted to make sure that I said the right thing because I knew that he was looking for my answer that would make him make certain decisions or not make certain decisions with his life. And I said to him, God's way is not fast, but it's sure. It's slow, but it's sure. I'm not going to step on anybody. I'm not going to do anything out of my character. I'm going to trust God. I said, and in this lifetime, and in my lifetime, you will see we will win. In my lifetime, because you don't do for the Lord, and he does not bring you to that place that you're believing for. And my son looked at me, and he just looked at me like, I hope what you're saying is true. And I remember, saying to my husband, am I wasting my life? Am I chasing something that'll never happen? Am I bringing Brandon down a path to make him think something that he can have something that he'll never have? This was when I was in the pit, in that place of quit, and I said to my husband, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. I just want to be a regular person. I'm going to get a 9 to 5. I'm going to know how much money I'm going to get every Friday so I can pay my bills and I don't have to worry and I don't have to trust. I can just work and get paid and that's it. And he said, okay, if you don't want to do this anymore, because I had said it over and over and over and over again, I think I really tired him out. He said, if you don't want to do this anymore, I'm not going to make you do it. If you don't want to do it anymore, don't do it anymore. And I remember going to sleep and I woke, and remember in my last point, I said, all you got to do is go to sleep and get back up. I went to sleep and I woke up the next morning and I had a voicemail message on my phone from a little kid that left me a message just to say, Miss Natasha, thank you so much for everything you've done for me. Because of what you've done for me, I am doing this. And it was my way I think it was God's way of reminding me that what you do is counting. It does work, and you're already there. You're already winning. Let me tell you a secret, people. When you are a superstar, when you are anointed, when you have the goods, it doesn't take the world to tell you that. You have to know that. Okay? Just because they don't know it yet doesn't mean it's not so. Sometimes God has us hidden, I'd like to say in the cleft of the rock, but hidden for a time until he decides to unveil what he's been cooking in us all of these years. And so that phone call from that little boy inspired me to get up and go again. Go at it again, because I knew that the work that I was doing, although I was in a really bad place with a certain situation, there were so many other things that were happening where we already won. And see, if I quit, when the blessing comes, I won't be in the place that I'm supposed to be, ready and able to move forward. So that's one of my stories about me wanting to quit. But there's so many other stories. There was one client of mine, and I won't say her name, but she literally was at the place of, I can't do this anymore. She was training with us for years. I mean, the training doesn't stop. Listen, people, the training doesn't stop. Wherever you decide to train, that is just something you put in your budget and it stays with you always. Denzel Washington, Halle Berry, some of the biggest stars that we know, Will Smith, still train with their coaches for every project that they do. So this young lady had been coming to class and sharing with one of the coaches, I just can't do it anymore. I'm tired. It's not working for me. I've done all I can. It's been 5 years. It seems like everyone else is making it and I'm not. When is it going to be my turn? I think maybe even getting a little resentment, starting to feel a little jaded maybe by the process and seeing other people make it and them not getting there, because it could seem unfair at times, but we know favor ain't fair, but it could seem unfair at times. And so she was at this place of, I don't want to do it anymore. And right at that time, I had been pitching her to an agent out in LA. And the agent in LA finally said, okay, go ahead, I'm going to sign her. And literally within 3 months, her life has changed. She is now a series regular on a show, living her dream, making more money than she ever imagined, and she's still not 20-something yet. I mean, right at the point of quit is usually where your breakthrough is. So you can't give up. You can't give up on yourself. You can't give up on the dream. You can't give up on all the work that you have already put into it. Because when you give up, you'll never know what could have been on the other side. And one of the things that I know about that is it doesn't leave you. See, vision and passion and dreams and desire, they don't leave you. They may go dormant for a while, but you find yourself 10 years later missing. I really wanted to do that. Yeah, I really wanted to do that. Yeah, what happened to this? And you find yourself getting back into a class or joining some group or doing something because it's in you. It's a part of the fiber of your being. You have to be very careful on who you let speak into your life. Who you let speak into your life. One of the things that I know as a coach is I'm allowed to write on the tables of kids' hearts. What I say will be with them probably for the rest of their lives. They will remember something Miss Natasha said. And so if you allow someone small, there's one other story I want to share with you with a young man that I know who is incredible. He's an awesome singer, songwriter, producer. Someone told him that he really wasn't an artist, that he should only be a producer and a songwriter. Maybe, I think it was because they so-called thought he didn't have the look, or maybe the personality or the swag that it took to be an R&B artist. And so that small seed, very small, maybe you should be a writer. I think that's better. Just be a writer. Even though at the point of hearing that, this young man said, I don't care what they say. I'm not going to do that. But eventually he talked himself out of being an artist. Eventually he started to say things like, I'm just going to focus on writing. And I'm like, where did that come from? I thought you always wanted to be an artist. Oh, no. That's not me. But who said it wasn't you? Someone else's opinion? Remember we talked about going for the no's? Just because that one person said no, that doesn't mean that that's the outcome of your life. And thank God today, this young man just released his own EP. People are buying it. People love him as an artist. He's incredible. But for a time, about 3 or 4 years, he let someone else's opinion of who they thought he was or who they thought he couldn't be become his own opinion. So listen, people, if you don't remember anything else in the 5 steps, I pray you remember all 5 steps. But this one right here it will make the difference between success and not being successful. Because you have to be able to pull yourself up from your bootstraps in whatever situation it is and say, I will not quit. There is no quit in me. I don't care what you throw at me. I will not quit. I want you to look in the mirror and say that to yourselves. I will not quit. I'm a voice in this world. Repeat after me. I'm a voice in this world, and I deserve to be heard. I will not quit. Again, I'm a voice in this world, and I deserve to be heard. Last time, I will not quit. I'm a voice in this world, and I deserve to be heard. See, sometimes you just have to talk to yourself. You have to encourage yourself. When no one else is around to encourage you, you remind you what you're made of, the stock you came from, the family you came from, and whose you are and who you are. And when you do that, there's something that stirs on the inside of you that will not let you give up on you. Listen, dreaming is so important. You have to continue to dream. If you don't dream, you'll never see what I'm talking about. So repeat after me. I'm a dreamer, and I dare to dream, and the world will know my name. Again, I'm a dreamer, and I dare to dream, and the world will know my name. Final time, I'm a dreamer, and I dare to dream, and the world will know my name. And even if you say that and tears are running down your face because you may not believe it because the world will know your name. I'm Natasha Garcia. Thank you so much for spending this time with me, because if you spend time like you spend money, then you didn't have to spend it with me. I appreciate it. Follow me on social media, Natarsha for you on Instagram, Natasha Garcia on Facebook, or the strikethematchthemovement.com. You can follow me on my website and get on our email list so you can stay in touch with all of the wonderful things we're doing. Thank you so much. And God bless. Don't forget, you need 0.5 to wrap this all up.